Shut up and sit down.
Shut up and sit down. You're listening to The Useful Idiots. Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Luke.
Hey, this is Paul.
And you're listening to The Useful Idiots. So, what we have today is a few different stories we want to touch up on. Today we're going to go ahead and follow up with the Andrew Shaw story that we did, of course, cover last week. Then,
the tragic turn that story is taken.
Yeah, the tragic. Yeah, I'm actually really happy that.
More from the hockey perspective.
From the hockey perspective, what, them being knocked out, or just?
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, that's where you're at. I was just happy that he didn't get a bigger fine. He's going to be gone next year, anyways. It's okay. On top of that, we also have the some major news. Ted Cruz and his vice presidential candidate.
He's got a VP pick, even though he doesn't have the Republican nomination.
He doesn't yet?
No.
Oh.
And I just saw a statistic that says Trump is 97% likely to win the nomination. Like him or hate him, he's the favorite at this point.
Sure, yeah. We'll touch up on that in the next segment here. So, and then, of course, if we have time, we'll go ahead and cover a couple other topics, and we have the Harriet Tubman debacle. We also, of course, have some transgender bathroom issues, and maybe just a little peek into my mind later on, possibly. We'll see.
That's
so
a scary place that is.
Scary place for sure. So as for now, let's go ahead and have Paul here open up the Ted Cruz VP kind of segment. I guess you were the one who kind of brought it up to me that you wanted to talk about it, so I guess we'll let you open it up, all right?
Well, Ted Cruz, in spite of the fact that he's trailing Donald Trump, selected a vice presidential nominee. He picked Carly Fiorina.
Hey, you said it right. That's
I did.
Yeah,
I did say
Good
it right
job.
there. I've been pronouncing her name wrong.
Yeah,
for
Fiona.
months.
I believe it was
yeah,
Fiona.
Carly
Fiona. Carly Fiona. It sounds prettier, at least.
And he's trailing in the delegate count and the polls, and he picked a vice presidential candidate, and someone who just a few months ago was saying not so nice things about Ted Cruz.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, in fact, we actually have a clip here of Carly on CNN. What was it, a couple months ago?
Yeah, a couple months ago on CNN in the morning show, she had this to say about Ted Cruz.
We'll see if Ted Cruz has the nomination locked up, but I would say that Ted Cruz is just like any other politician. He says one thing in Manhattan, he says another thing in Iowa, he says whatever he needs to say to get elected, and then he's going to do as he pleases. I think the American people are tired of the political class that promises much and delivers much of the same.
A lot of love from the now VP candidate of, or the running mate of Ted Cruz, huh?
I mean, I agree with her points and what she was saying in that clip.
Most definitely.
But,
yeah.
This is like a preview of our future here in this election, but with the primaries on both sides of the aisle, kind of getting out of control in a way.
Completely out of control. This is I mean,
all these things are going to come back. Whoever the nominees are on either side, these things are going to come back to haunt them in the future.
Yeah, definitely. I as of right now, I don't see how anybody can actually go ahead and even be put up for the nomination on either side. I mean, it has to. It's starting to kind of believe that they have to throw somebody else out there from either party besides who's actually out there
in November. Unless it's Bernie Sanders, because I can't really. Not too much dirt has come up about Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, I know.
You're
You're a big supporter of Bernie Sanders. Aren't you?
Not a big supporter of Bernie Sanders, but there's not a lot of dirt about Bernie Sanders. You can criticize his policies and disagree with him, but I mean, look at the other candidates though. Between Ted Cruz, Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, if any of those three,
even Kasich, I had Kasich in there too.
What scandals has Kasich had?
Scandals? No, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have any scandals, really.
He just has bad policy.
I hear
How is he even still running?
Oh, he's won one state, and that was his home state. He's just sticking in there for, and we can go ahead and debate why he's still sticking in there. But I have actually heard a couple things from people interviewed saying he's a complete asshole. I mean, yeah, he comes off as this really sweet, loving man who gives people hugs at his rallies and everything. But no, I mean, I hear he's a complete and total asshole. And if you even watch his interviews now, he comes off as a jerk. Obviously, you probably don't watch enough of him.
I don't watch enough Kasich.
Yeah, he's not really interesting at all. I understand if you don't.
How
watch
is
him.
he? Look at all the people on the Republican side that have dropped out between Christie, Rand Paul, however many nominees there were on the
Jeb
Republican
Bush.
side.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
go ahead
Kasich. Who would have thought that? If there were statistics or gambling, Vegas odds on Kasich, they would have been very, very good odds for him to even get to this point.
He was at the bottom rankings the entire election cycle so far. He still is. I mean, from the beginning, he was at the edge of the stage. He wasn't, I mean, along with Rand Paul, the two guys at the bottom there, which, by the way, I mean, I'm a fan of Rand Paul. The guy should have definitely
Rand Paul, he should have went further than he did, but he has the Senate race he's got to worry about, too.
I don't think he even was paying attention to that. I just think that he runs terrible campaigns. He's not his father. He's not his father.
Well, you can't really, can you really say that Ron Paul ran a great campaign?
I think Ron Paul ran a very, very good campaign. Not a great campaign, but he also did have a huge ground movement kind of going on. He had people coming out like Trump is right now, just in waves to go ahead and push for Ron Paul. Obviously,
the difference between Trump and Ron Paul in the
besides
terms of
their beliefs.
Well, besides their obvious differences in beliefs is Trump, he has the grassroots. Ron Paul has the grassroots, but Trump has the media. The media, whether they're criticizing Trump or promoting Trump, like Trump is he spends so little on advertising because the media.
Bad press is good press.
Yeah.
The guy is really getting
he's really proving to the point that there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah, definitely. I guess let's get back to the Cruz Fiorina thing here. We kind of really got away from that.
Off on a huge tangent there.
Very easy to do, especially with this election cycle right now. Well, I guess, what are your views about Ted Cruz picking Fiorina? Obviously, besides the clip that you found of her talking on CNN about, I guess I should say, bashing on Cruz, do you have any issues with her? Or do you like her?
I mean, generally, I like her. I did see a story online about money changing hands between their super PACs, so that might be a reason why she's the nominee. But I'd have to dig more deeply on that.
I'm not gonna. I was listening to Glenn Beck right before we actually started recording this, and he had Fiorina on there. And I'm not saying I'm a big fan of Glenn Beck, everybody out there, but he's just another good news source to kind of listen to.
Well, he is a huge Ted Cruz supporter.
Huge. He just needs to. I'll go and keep it clean. Keep it clean. All right. So he needs to go ahead and get off of Ted Cruz's back, though. He loves him too much. But. He did have Fiorina on there, and
we'll do a future show about the right wing media and how they're divided over the different presidential candidates. I think that issue needs to be discussed. And
we definitely
out.
need to discuss that for sure, and that'll be maybe in the next episode we can talk about that. As for today, I didn't really listen to them talking too much. I find them both to be too boring to go ahead and actually pay attention. I was reading news stories online, and I know that they were talking about why they, of course, are getting together, but I didn't remember anything about it. So sorry, everyone.
I liked her in the debates. I thought she had some good lines.
She seems to be an original, a classic liberal in the sense that, like the founders, she believes in the founding principles of how the actual on how we should run the government. Except for, I believe that she is a warmonger. She's hawkish. She's very scary. I don't like.
Did she ever hold any political office?
No, she's only been the CEO of
Hewlett Packard.
Hewlett Packard, exactly. Which I still give her the points that she deserves, but I don't want any female who wants to go ahead and overcompensate for her being a female by holding a strong stance on military power. I don't like that.
You don't think she was saying that just to get over with the base, the Republican base?
She may have, but I honestly believe that she really does think that way. And I think that she was just overcompensating for the fact that she's a female by being hawkish. And it came off scary. To me, it came off terrifying. I don't really believe, I don't want to have a World War III. I don't want World War III, and I believe that
I think it's safe to say we're in the majority of people on planet Earth that don't want World War III.
Yeah, besides maybe a couple heads of Russia and a couple heads in America that want this fry for a lot of reasons.
A couple billionaires here and there.
Yeah, exactly. But when she kind of she did this whole move that I can't get out of my head. She's like a normal female. She, in the sense that, and let me go ahead and say this here, that she said that she's not going to go ahead and talk to Putin. Like, she's going to go ahead and just ignore him. Like, as if she's his girlfriend or his wife, and she's just angry at him. So she's going to go ahead and just hold some silence and go ahead and get him chasing after her, you know?
Well, I mean, if you're the president of the United States, you're going to have some kind of communication with Putin in future circumstances. She was probably just trying to. I'm taking the position of defending her now. It seems like, I think she was just saying that to rally up the base, and a lot of the Republican bases, I don't know if anti-communism. There's still the roots of anti-communism in the Republican base, and so that would translate into her saying that she doesn't want to ever talk to Putin. But, the reality is that she would probably have to talk to him eventually. Whoever the future president of the United States is going to have to deal with Putin.
I guess we should be pretty clear that vice president is one of those pointless positions in political office ever. It really has no clout, no saying in anything.
Well, I think a lot of states are. I've seen a few states that are getting rid of the lieutenant governor position. Have you seen that?
No, I have not. And what exactly does the lieutenant governor do? Because I unfortunately, I really don't know.
As much as we pay attention to politics in our personal lives, how many stories about lieutenant governors until Pat Quinn in Illinois? Until Pat Quinn, until Rod Blagojevich, former governor of Illinois, got arrested and put in jail. Lieutenant Governor Pat Quinn was there to fill the void. So, I mean, that was the one time I guess it was useful.
The one time it was actually
when your governor goes to jail.
So we'll keep the lieutenant governor in Illinois because we're probably gonna need that.
Yeah, we might need that.
We're probably gonna need that for a while longer.
Who's the lieutenant governor now?
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
I don't think I know.
We can
Is
post
there one?
We'll post that in the show notes. We'll go and see.
We'll get back to
you.
Yeah,
we'll go ahead and post it on there for you guys. So I guess we'll tie up a quick little because we are kind of running, I guess, a little long on the first segment here. I guess we'll go ahead and just close it out with saying I personally do not believe that Fiorina was a good choice. I believe she is actually too closely aligned politically minded with Ted Cruz. And I know that to go ahead and reach the broadest base of voters, you need to go ahead and actually diversify.
So you think he should have picked a more liberal Republican?
Not necessarily a more liberal Republican. He did a good job at choosing a woman who was from the business sector. Two good things that I know he was probably thinking of when he chose her. I just don't think that he chose somebody a little more diverse in the actual beliefs to go and reach other people.
People like outsiders, though, in this election cycle. Between Trump and Bernie Sanders, that's one thing that's standing out with voters, is that with Trump, look at his views. He flip-flops on just about everything, and he says things that Republicans certainly shouldn't like, but they don't care about that. They just want an outsider.
Yeah, they just want an outsider, which is, understandable. I don't want any career politician running anything anymore at all. But, I mean, you can't go ahead and be as hypocritical and just two-faced as Donald Trump is and still somehow support the man. I don't get how the right could possibly support the man with what he says. I mean, he believes in single-payer health care.
Were you talking about Trump?
We're talking about Trump. Sorry, we're talking about Trump.
Oh, yeah, not Cruz?
I got you can't distract me like that. You cannot distract me by bringing in Trump, all right? Okay, well, any final thoughts on the Cruz Fiorina situation?
Real quick on the Cruz Fiorina situation. Yeah. It does get people talking about Ted Cruz at a time where he just lost a whole bunch of primaries.
Five states in the last day of primary voting. That's absurd.
These are the kinds of things where candidates suspend their campaigns. Even though I hate the word suspend campaigns, really it means end their campaigns.
No, they're suspending it. They're suspending it. Yeah. There's still people who can win it after they suspend it. I still voted for Rand Paul when he suspended his campaign in the primaries. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I can make a principled vote on that. So we'll go ahead and see how this turns out. Give us a couple days. We'll go ahead and do a little recap on what's going on with the Fiorina Cruz. We'll see if Trump decides to go ahead and also name his running mate. Maybe Ben Carson. Nah, I'm kidding. We're not gonna have Ben Carson as a running mate.
I wouldn't rule out anybody.
At this point.
Be Trump's running
Maybe he'll
mate.
bring back Ross Perot. We'll see.
Hey, Bernie Sanders could be.
Bernie Sanders, you think so? I could see that. Yeah, they'll go ahead and push for that single-payer health system. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and come on back with our next segment right after this. and welcome back. So after a short, brief pause, that was really just a relaxed session. It wasn't really anything more than that. Just wanted to go and regroup, I guess. We don't have any sponsors, so there's no need to go ahead and stop other than just a pause. So that being said, we
don't have any sponsors yet.
Thank you. We needed that dot.
Yet is a good word.
Exactly.
I should do a whole blog post about the word
You
yet.
should do a blog post. I don't think I've seen any from Paul yet on the blog. Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah. Go to,
Yet.
Yeah.
You hear
There
that?
you go. We can keep on. That'll be the word of the day here. Yet. All right. So, well, I guess we'll go ahead and jump into Andrew Shaw since we didn't really, I guess, close that out. We kind of just touched on it. What did end up happening was he was fined $5,000 and suspended one game of the playoffs. And that was it.
Yeah, everything was kind of dropped after that. I feel like maybe that was a just punishment.
It was just. I mean, I don't agree with the fact that he got punished, but the fact that he was actually caught saying what he said, sure, I'm okay with it.
I mean, I think he was probably going to get that suspension even if he didn't say what he said.
Yeah, I can believe that. With the other actions that he did pull, he kind of deserved something.
A whole lot of actions he pulled.
Yeah, a whole lot of actions. He's a scrappy guy. I'm going to miss him in Chicago more than most people. He really is just such a heart. I don't know how to say this.
What would you say the odds are of him coming back to the Blackhawks?
Well, you know,
how old is he?
He's 24. 24.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, that's it. He's got a $2 million contract right now. Stan Bowman and Joe Quinn. Well, Joe Quenneville says that he wants him back more than anything. Stan Bowman is kind of moot on the point of what he wants to do.
Well, he kind of has to be in that role.
He's a
doesn't he?
GM. Yeah, he has to go ahead and do the financial side of things, and he understands that Shaw's not going to come back, which I would like for him to come back. But he deserves a solid contract of maybe $3.5 million per year, and I don't think we can afford that with our salary cap. So he's probably going to be gone. And that's just another, I guess, another victim of the salary cap era in the NHL.
Coming out against the salary cap now, are you?
No, I believe that it makes everything much more enticing and fair in the league as of right now. And it sucks to go ahead and see the changes that the Blackhawks have made over the years, and it's getting tough to go ahead and keep on playing at a high caliber, but we're doing it. And I think that that's what makes it more enjoyable to watch, knowing that we have to go and have high turnover every single year.
All I hear is that Luke is for wage and price controls. That's all I heard.
Well, and tariffs. And we need tariffs, of course, also. These Russian players need to go ahead and be taxed on their way in.
And the Canadians, too.
And the Canadians, too, yeah. All right, everyone. So, hey, thanks for tuning in to the Useful Idiots, episode 2. Yeah,
I couldn't remember what episode.
I was hoping you were going to say that for me.
I was going to say 3, but
3. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and say episode 20. All right, yeah. People are going to believe we're much more successful at this than we are.
We've been doing this a long time.
Yeah, a long time. All right, everyone. You all have a great day, and we'll see you in